Presidential hopefuls jumping into the race for the White House with full force. Our next guest compiles a list of the contenders and calls it the 2008 Power Rankings. Jason Wright joins us from D.C. He's the founder, there it is, and the editor of PoliticalDerby.com. Good to see you again, Jason.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
All right, so let's run down the horse list. We want to start with the Democratic contenders. How did it change from last week when we talked to you? Hillary Clinton, momentum stays the same, but what changed in the number 2 spot?
Well, I've got Edwards in the number 2 spot. I've got Obama falling to 3. I think long-term, the cocaine story, probably not a big deal. But in the short run, I don't know that you want your name and the word blow appearing in the same sentence in any news story, regardless the connotation, you know?
Yeah, exactly
He's in the number 3 spot. So I would also add, a lot of folks haven't been paying a whole lot of attention to this, but this guy is selling a lot of books, over 1 million copies of his last book. Those are numbers generally reserved for folks like Hillary or Bill or Steve Doocy. I mean, those are big-time numbers.
That's exactly right. And you know what? Regarding Barack Obama, and you say that he's slipped from number 2 to number 3 on the Democratic side because of the cocaine story. He admitted he used it in high school. But you say, I understand, I've got people, Jason, and they've told me that you feel that he's going to slip a little more when people find out he's a smoker.
Oh, absolutely. I think the smoking issue comes back to bite him in the hindquarters. I mean, it's hard to be a Democrat, to be a smoker, and to be arguing for universal health care. I don't know that a lot of middle Americans, taxpayers, are going to think it's all that cool that you've got a smoker saying, I want a better health plan. Doesn't he have a good health plan already?
I don't think people even know that, because the latest pictures of him have been without shirts on, vacationing, looking very healthy and robust. Okay, so what were you going to say, Jason?
Well, that's the money shot. That's what everyone's waiting for, is a picture of him out in an alley behind the Senate smoking on a cigarette.
All right, and the dark horse candidate right now is, surprisingly, Virginia Governor Mark Warner, formerly with that job. Wait a minute, he said he wasn't going to do it.
He said he wasn't going to do it, but I don't know about that, folks. Here's my take on Warner. This is a guy who was very, very popular when he left office, and if I was running for president, and sweetheart, I'm not planning on running for president, but if I was and I wanted to turn down the spotlight a little bit, one way to do that is to say, you know what, I think I'm out of the race. I have other priorities in my life. I think he could be talked back into it real easily.
Gotcha.
All right, this week's top 5 GOP horses. Let's take a look at them.
It looks as if in the lead position, McCain, same as last week. Romney has some momentum. Giuliani about the same. Brownback about the same. Newt Gingrich, momentum down for Newt. How come, Jason?
Oh, Newt's got more baggage than Paris Hilton on a skiing trip. That's his problem. The longer he waits to run, the more the field runs away from him. I think this idea that he can wait until September and still mount a viable campaign, it's just not realistic. He'll continue to slip.
All right, who's the dark horse on the GOP side?
Well, this might be a surprise to some folks, but I've got South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford. This is a guy who is enormously popular at home, and while Republicans around the country last year were getting their fannies handed to them, he won pretty comfortable re-election. He said he's not interested, but he's another one who I think has the credentials, very popular. I mean, he's a Southern governor, for goodness sakes. I think that he could allow himself to be drafted into the race late this spring or in the summer.
Tell you what, folks, if you would like more insight from Jason Wright, go to his website. It's PoliticalDerby.com. He's the founder, the editor, and the main benefactor. Right, Jason?
Thank you very much.
All right.
Good to talk.